Your Honor, my husband is completely useless. He can't even handle his own money, my wife declared in the hushed courtroom, her voice flat and final, like a verdict she'd rehearsed in the mirror for years. I didn't flinch. I simply sat there at the defense table, palms open on the polished wood, breathing steadily. The judge, a sharp-eyed woman in her late 60s named Judge Evelyn Carter, let the words hang in the air. She didn't glance at me. Instead, her gaze locked onto my wife's lawyer. Counselor, she said quietly, are you absolutely sure you know who Daniel Reese actually is, and what he really does for a living? My wife, Claire, froze mid-breath. Her attorney, Victor Lang, opened his mouth, then closed it. For the first time that morning in the plain, fluorescent-lit room of courtroom 4C, her polished mask slipped. The hearing had started like any other family court proceeding, small, ordinary, smelling faintly of old coffee and floor wax. Claire stood poised in her charcoal suit, the one she wore for important meetings, presenting herself as the long-suffering provider who'd finally had enough. Her petition sought emergency guardianship over my finances, claiming I was detached, financially naive, and blind to manipulation. My accounts? Already frozen. My job in corporate forensics? Put on indefinite leave, pending evaluation. She'd painted me as a ghost in my own life, passive, uninvolved, a burden. Then came the knockout line. He's useless, she repeated for emphasis. Always has been. I stayed quiet. Reacting would only feed the story she'd crafted. Judge Carter leaned forward slightly. Mr. Reese has said almost nothing today. Is there a reason for that? I met her eyes. Yes, Your Honor. Some truths are stronger when they arrive unannounced. Claire's shoulders tensed. The room felt smaller, the air thicker. Flashback 3 weeks. The thick envelope arrived at our front door like a telegram from another era. Claire. Claire had filed to declare me incompetent, citing my supposed inability to spot fraud. Ironic, considering my career. For 24 years I traced money trails most people never see, forensic accountants specializing in elder financial abuse, quietly auditing systems, spotting patterns in spreadsheets that screamed exploitation long before anyone else noticed. When my mother, Eleanor, had a stroke last spring, Claire volunteered to manage the tedious stuff. Bills, appointments, bank calls. You've got enough on your plate with visits, she'd said sweetly. Eleanor, fading but still sharp in moments, signed what she was told were routine forms. I trusted the process. I trusted family. Then Eleanor passed. 2 weeks after the memorial, the guardianship papers landed. I didn't yell. I didn't storm out. I started pulling records. Quietly, methodically. Bank alerts on unusual transfers. Dates that matched Claire's solo visits to Mom's assisted living. A durable power of attorney signed during a documented window of confusion noted by her doctor. And hidden in Eleanor's nightstand drawer, a small notebook filled with her neat handwriting. One entry read, Claire brought more papers today. Said it was just to make things easier. My head was cloudy. I shouldn't have signed. Ethan will figure it out. He always does. She'd left the evidence untouched, trusting my habits over confrontation. In court, my attorney, Sarah Klein, rose without flourish. Your Honor, this petition claims my client cannot detect financial abuse. We will demonstrate that he not only can, he already has. She displayed a clean timeline, transfers totaling over $80,000 labeled vaguely as family assistance and consulting, all routed during Claire's visits. Medical notes on Eleanor's capacity that day. The power of attorney executed under questionable conditions. No theatrics, just facts stacking like bricks. Claire's lawyer objected twice. Both overruled. Sarah concluded. Calmly, the exploitation my client is accused of missing was directed at his own mother. By the petitioner. Claire's face drained of color. She stared at me as if seeing a stranger. The judge didn't bang her gavel dramatically. She simply said, the court will review the submitted evidence and issue a ruling shortly. But let me be clear, guardianship is meant to protect the vulnerable, not enable control. As we filed out, Claire passed close enough that I caught her whisper, you were supposed to stay quiet. I looked at her, really looked, and answered softly, I always did. You just never listened. The hallway echoed with footsteps. My phone buzzed, a message from my boss. Investigation cleared. Welcome back Monday. Outside, the autumn light was sharp and clean. I walked away without looking back, carrying only what mattered, the truth my mother had trusted me to find, and the silence that had finally spoken loudest of all.